something out of nothingness. But as far as I know, Rabbi David Katz found this alone, and has brought this to me, and I fought him. I didn't like it when I first heard it. I did not like, no. Torah Shem not. Torah Shem not. When he said Torah Shem, I went boing, instantly. I said, that's it. That's the missing link. But the Ger, I had a problem with it. And, you know, and I worked with him. We struggled and we argued quite a bit. And he showed me. And then the struggle was very good because it caused him to articulate it. And, I like to say he's wisdom and I'm understanding. And wisdom is on such a high level that you don't really grasp it. It just, you sort of grasp it, but you certainly cannot communicate it. It's much too high a level. When it's brought down into understanding, into Bina, that's a slightly lower level. It's a definitely lower level, but that's where you can at least communicate it to yourself. You can articulate it and say what it is. And then on the lower level of Bina, then you can teach it to others. Yeah, so we mentioned last night, we have many Gemaras, not many, there's some Gemaras where the sages gave mezuzot to the senators in Rome in their days, and so forth. There is an opinion, the opinion is the Radbaz, David ben Zimra, in around 1500s, who was the leader of the generation. He advised against anything dealing with particularly the holy letters, that we shouldn't put on tefillin and shouldn't have mezuzah. But he didn't forbid it, and it is clearly not forbidden. And even for tefillin, everybody will agree it is not forbidden. The Rambam would say that if a Noachide wants to put on tefillin, a Jew should help him. And so it's a big struggle, right? It's a big struggle and fight at the kotel. You know, they have the stand where they put on tefillin to visitors who people have never had before, and they didn't want to do it for Gentiles. For years, they didn't do it. And when they asked rabbis, they said, "No, you cannot do it." Halacha is you can do it. The concern with the tefillin, I feel like I said this last night, but yeah. Is that the body won't be clean. They won't have the proper respect for it. Not that it's forbidden. So,
another question. Someone asked, this is online, I think maybe, says, is it logically acceptable to call yourself a Ger publicly if you've not been before a base stand or someone to officially that?
Well, according to the Rogachow, you can. But the question is, are you going to offend and upset people? Is it wise? Is it permissible? Surely it's permissible. Is it wise? Because what do you need to do it? I mentioned also yesterday, the Zohar says that a blessing falls only on something that's concealed until the right time to reveal it. So I would say it's prudent to just know who you're talking to.
I think we answered this, but Pablo online asked about, was Abraham the first Hebrew or Jew, but I think that you addressed that.
Yeah, he is a Hebrew. He was called a Hebrew.
He was the first Hebrew,
yeah.
But he wasn't the first. I'm sorry. He was the first Hebrew. But.
Yeah. Well, let's define what is a Jew. In terms of the term, Jew is a Yehudi. So originally, that meant only one from the tribe of Yehuda. But then, when the kingdoms were split after King Solomon, when the kingdom was split into the tribe of into the kingdom of Yehuda and the kingdom of Yisrael, so then everybody who lived in that kingdom was called a Yehudi. If you look in the book of Esther, it says Mordechai was a Yehudi. Mordechai, Ish Yehudi. But Mordechai was from the tribe of Benjamin. He's not a Yehudi. That's where it really began. But because the 10 lost tribes, 80% of the people, the Israelites, were lost, and all that remained was the kingdom of Yehuda, so the generic term for the Israelite became the Yehudi in that respect. So, and that's really it. It's just usage. And the problem with the Ger is only a matter of usage. I know Abraham Sutton spoke, David Katz says, don't you give any respect or credence to the fact that the word ger is only used in the Orthodox community to mean a convert. Nobody knows what you're talking about. He says, well, you have to respect it. However, it's a mistake, and we're hoping that through the book and through what's happening, people will get it. But there is going to be a period of difficulty. Last night, Gershon Jones, the son of Benjamin Jones, so why don't you call the Ger Tosha? What are you going to confuse people for? So we want to stir up a little stuff here. I know that. I hope so. But I hope it comes out good. You know?
I catch the concept of something is nothing when it's hidden. I get it wrong, but you just said it. Could you kind of break that down? Simple here, and I'm not catching that. There's something really good, but
When things are out in the open revealed, negative forces can attach itself to it. Just in just practical terms, somebody could want to hurt you because they're jealous or they're this or that. So, and for instance, the classic of this is the priest, the Kohen, when he lit the incense, nobody could be there. Nobody in the whole temple could be there but him, because it was such a delicate, such a high spiritual accomplishment through the incense, that if the wrong guy was looking at it, and there's, you know what the term ayin hara, an evil eye, the person can feel bad or be jealous. It usually comes to the idea of jealousy, that somebody could be looking and saying, well, I'm really jealous. This guy's lighting the incense and serving God that way, and I'm not doing it. So that's the point, that it's just better, again, the word prudent, to be private and until the right moment when it doesn't matter.
Another question from David California asked, is Isaiah 30:20 somehow a reference to the emergence of Shem? And it puts in quotation that verse says, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into the corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teacher. Is this referring to? We need to throw that out.
I think it's referring to Hashem.
To Hashem?
Hashem, not
Hashem. Any other questions?
you said last night that there are different places.
See?
Fight over it.
You're being polite, trying to say, you go, and it's good. That's so funny. No, you're sweet, you go. You're welcome.
You said last night that there are different. The prayers are slightly different for us and Shabbat prayers that we would say.
Some are different, some are not different.
Are those going to be in the book?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is, you started with Abraham, you started your lecture, and you spoke briefly, just maybe one sentence or so about that. Can you talk about Hashem in Shabbat at the beginning of creation? And obviously he was not an Israelite. He was not even a Noahide, because Noah hadn't even existed at that point. I mean, he was just the first man. I mean,
When it says Hashem rested on Shabbat, in where it says it in Isaiah, it uses the word for resting there to be refreshed, and he was refreshed, nafash. So the Ramban says, did God need to be refreshed? What, he got tired? he says what it means, nafash is the same word as nefesh, soul. He says what God did by resting on the Shabbat is he gave the world a soul. The soul of the world is Shabbat. And anyone who observes it connects to that soul, and his soul and her soul is connected to that soul.
That's really good.
That's the mother one.
Yeah, that's really.
Yeah, that's it. And again, you want to take that away from somebody? I don't want to take that away from somebody. I don't think God wants to take that away from somebody.
So we would.
The whole world is. Right, absolutely not.
I know.
We have one from the outside.
Okay, this is just a very small question. It's regarding the morning prayers and and it's a personal question for me. It's blessing Hashem that He has not made me a girl. I'm no longer a wife. But how do I pray that prayer?
That prayer has one meaning and one meaning only. That I have more commandments than the goy. That's what that's about. That's not a put down the goy, because then it's the same thing making me not a woman as well, and because the man has more commandments than the woman, and it's just that we have more mitzvah. That's all that is referring to, nothing else. It's not an insult to anybody.
But since I'm a convert, can I pray that?
Well, of course, you have the
Because I'm not.
But you're say that part to you.
No, I don't say it.
no. You say lower its own. That was made me according to His will.
Well, yes.
Yeah. By the way, that's on the will is the level of Keter. That's a higher level. Yeah.
So someone online asked, was still a bit concerned about the legitimacy of the care, the concept of care. So the question is when Rabbi Katz brought this idea to you,
Excuse me?
existed, what was the tipping point? What concept was the tipping point?
What happened with me, and I think is what happens with anybody who fights it, I just saw it suddenly. We discussed it enough, and I thought about it enough. Suddenly, it was like the little cartoon strip, the light bulb went up, and that was it. Once you see it, you see it, and you can't take it away. Once you see it, it's just such an evident truth that.
So are you saying if someone gets the book, if let's say that they're Jewish and they get the book, but they want to understand the concept of the book?
I hope so. That's really a big part of why I wrote this book. I tried to take it and bring it down to earth to where it makes sense, where it's logical. It's got all the sources
And explain to those who are listening, if they want to pre-order the book, they can pre-order it, but it will be available online to pre-order it soon. So
how is that? What's the mechanism? I'm not.
they can contact us to pre-order the book manually, but they will be able to go online here in a week or so to order the book before it's printed.
From who? I don't know.
From Rabbi Katz has someone that's getting ready to set it down.
Oh, so that's. I think that the website's called Ger Gear. It's been ready. It's been ready to roll for as far as I can months. I don't know why it hasn't been up. I was just told
It's
yes.
not up. Yeah, GaryGear.com will have the book soon.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's sort of a double entendre. It means gear, like you said, but it's also like gears. Make things going, moving.
Well, I just have a question. Have a comment. I know that yesterday when I left here, I was elated with what I heard and what was shared here at the prayer
That's good.
today. I mean, our journey is a little over 2 years. But each and every step we make so much, and each rabbi takes their time and kind of visit and help us understand. And to take that next step in the right direction, I certainly appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm sure everyone.
This is very special to me. You should know. This is. I really see this as the gateway to redemption. What's going on here?